Hi, I'm Brittany, and this is my story. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, I thought my mom was the most beautiful girl in the world. She was just 18 when she had me, and even when I was little, I could tell she cast a spell on everyone around her. She always looked picture perfect, and heads would turn at the sound of her lovely laugh. And to top that, she was a crazy talented singer and musician. She'd let me play on the piano as she practiced her songs. And when I was 3, Mom released her first album, and it broke records. She shot to stardom overnight, and our lives were transformed. And because of Mom, I was famous too. We'd be photographed every time we stepped out, and people thought we were the cutest pair. Mom and I were super close, and I had some of her talent, so it was no surprise that I wanted to be a famous singer one day, just like her. But then suddenly, everything changed. I was in 7th grade when I started noticing that my hair was falling out, fast. This one time when I was brushing my hair, a huge clump fell out, and I screamed. My parents rushed me to the doctor, and we found out I had alopecia. I was gonna be bald, and there was no way to stop it. I'm gonna be ugly. I'll never be pretty or famous now. Honey, you'll always be beautiful, and people who care for you and admire your talent will love you anyway, just like your father and I do. But it was hard for me to stay positive the more hair I lost. The only thing that helped me was my songwriting. I'd vent out my feelings that I couldn't express to anyone, not even Mom. In 8th grade, we moved to another town where Mom was recording her album, and before joining my new school, I decided to start wearing wigs. Mom encouraged me to get the brightest colors. I love this candy pink one. And this electric blue, such a pop star look. Mom, don't you think people at school will make fun of me? Not at all, Britt. Trust me, you'll be a trendsetter. Well, maybe Mom was right, because people in my school warmed up to me instantly, especially the most popular girl in class, Mandy. She invited me to sit with her group at lunch, and I was thrilled, mostly because one of her friends was this really cute boy, Chris. Girl, you so have a crush on Chris. What? I have no idea which. Oh, come on. It's so obvious. And I get it. He's super cute now. You should have seen him before. His mom works for us as a maid, and he was always this dorky kid. But Mom's on the school board, so she got him admitted here on a scholarship, and I gave him a total makeover. If you're into him, I could totally set you two up. Really? You would? Of course. What are friends for? For the next week, Mandy kept finding ways for me and Chris to get closer. Oh God, my gardener just texted me that my pet spider ran away. I gotta go home. Come with me, girls. You both wanted the chocolate milkshake, right? Sorry, last one left. But I got you guys straws to share. I felt Mandy's tactics were working. I was spending time with Chris, and he was funny and cool to talk to. But then one day, Mandy came to me with a really odd request. Listen, Britt, could you get us some of your mom's used lipsticks? Only those that have, touched her lips? That's the creepiest thing anyone's ever said to me. Why? Well, my mom had this really great idea about selling them on eBay for really good money. That sounds bizarre, and I'm not doing it. It's not like I asked you for some gold statue from your palace. You're filthy rich, so the least you could do is share some of your wealth with your friends. I didn't know I had to share my wealth for us to be friends, Mandy. Wow, rich people really are cheap. I'm sorry, I had no idea you guys were so poor. Don't worry, I'll talk to Mom and see if we can find jobs for you and your mom to mop our marble floors and dust our gold statues. Maybe I sounded like a jerk, but she deserved it. It was obvious now that she'd been my friend just because of my rich, famous mom. As expected, Mandy and her gang dropped me like a dead fly the next day. I walked past them and sat alone at recess. But moments later, I was overjoyed to see Chris walking over to me. But then suddenly, he stuck a piece of gum to my wig. Hey, what the heck was that? The pink gum goes with your dumb wig. Consider it a parting gift. What, did you really think we'd be friends after what you said? What did I say? Drop the act. Mandy told me she accidentally spilled juice on you yesterday, and you yelled at her. You said she's as worthless as the maids who mop your floors? How can you talk like that? Don't you have any respect for anyone? That's not what I— Save it, Brittany. You're just some rich brat no one would even know of if it wasn't for her mom. Good luck with your perfect life. If only they knew. After that, they kind of made my life miserable, especially Chris. Rubber snakes in my locker, glue on my seat, mud in my gym shoes. He pulled every stupid prank. One time, I walked into the classroom and Mandy groaned loudly before passing some money to Chris. Ugh, I lost the bet. Weirdo's wearing a purple wig today.
Told ya, but you were right about one thing. She looks like a cartoon, no matter what.
One afternoon when I got home, I heard loud voices from the lounge, and I was shocked to see Mandy and her friends surrounding Mom. Sing a song for us, please. How are you so pretty? You and Brittany look like sisters, except you're like 10 times prettier. What's going on here? Oh, hi, honey. Your friends dropped by for a visit. Could you quickly get the snacks tray from the kitchen, please? And moments later, Mom was performing as those hyenas screamed and took selfies, and I just stormed off. An hour later, Mom walked into my room.
Why didn't you join your friends? Are you feeling sick?
I'm fine, Mom. And they're not my friends. They don't even like me. They're vultures who probably came to steal your lipsticks.
What?
They're just not nice to me, okay? I didn't tell you because you're busy with your album and we'll be leaving as soon as it's done, right?
Yeah, but it could take a few months. You know, honey, teenage girls fight all the time and then make up. Come on, why wouldn't they like you? You're amazing.
You won't get it, because I bet no one's ever disliked you. Please, just close my door on the way out. It was my 14th birthday soon, and I'd only wanted a small celebration with my parents. But to my horror, Mom said she'd invited my entire class. What's a birthday without your friends? They like you. They all said they'd come. Not for me, Mom. You're the main attraction.
You're wrong about this, Britt. Come on, I bought you this lovely dress and this wig to match. I bet no boy will be able to keep his eyes off you tonight.
I was hating Mom for this. But then I thought I wouldn't mind looking amazing and making Chris eat his heart out. And if they all thought I was some entitled princess, well, I'd enjoy showing them that I was. The party was in full swing when I walked in, and I was making heads turn. But I caught Chris looking at me with zero interest, and then he just turned away to the food table. Why are you even here?
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Was kinda hoping you wouldn't show up.
It's my birthday party.
Oops, didn't get you a present. I just came because Mandy asked me to.
What are you, her pet? You believe anything she says and do whatever she asks? Chris looked mad, but before he could reply, Mom stepped onto the stage. Attention, everybody! Many of you may not know that Brittany is a super talented singer herself. So, I wanted you to cheer her on as she joins me for a duet. The last thing I wanted to do was sing in front of these people, right next to Mom, but she'd left me no choice. I was super nervous, and I could tell my voice was off key. Mom kept nodding at me encouragingly, but I just couldn't go on. As I was leaving, I suddenly tripped over my dress. Mom caught me before I fell flat on my face, but then I realized my wig had come off. Everybody was staring at me in shock, and I burst into tears and ran away, with Mom behind me. Brittany, it's not such a big deal if people know. You're beautiful as you are. Gosh, can you just please stop, Mom? I'm so sick of you telling me every other minute that I'm amazing and beautiful. Maybe it's something you need to keep telling yourself because even you don't really believe it. That is so unfair. No, what's unfair is that you made me sing tonight because next to you, I feel about this small. And it's unfair that all my hair fell out, and it's unfair that I constantly have to live in the shadow of someone like you.
Why? What's so terrible about me?
Just that you're you. So freaking perfect. I knew my words were cruel, but I just couldn't stop myself. I was certain I wouldn't be going back to school. But after the weekend, I decided I wasn't hiding. It's not like my life in school was great before. What would be so different now? But to my surprise, I was met with smiles and greetings when I entered the class. One girl invited me to sit with them for lunch, while another whispered, "I think you're brave, girl." I was touched by everyone's kindness. Mandy and her group didn't say a word to me, and I didn't even look their way. But that afternoon while I was waiting for my car, Chris came over to me. I tried walking away, but he blocked me.
Please wait. You don't ever have to talk to me again, but I just want to say, I'm sorry for judging you when I didn't know anything about your life, and for blindly believing Mandy. I know she can be mean to people she doesn't like. I'm just sorry for being a jerk. He sounded so sincere that I forgave him, but I wasn't sure I wanted to be friends again. But after that day, Chris was always around me, and it was hard to ignore him. Plus, it seemed to make Mandy really mad, which was a bonus. Things were looking up for me at school, but at home, Mom and I hadn't talked in weeks. I felt guilty, but I just didn't know how to fix things. But one day while I was studying, Mom came in. "Brittany, I've been thinking a lot lately, and maybe I don't really understand what you're going through. I just wanted you to believe that your condition doesn't define you, and it doesn't have to take over your life. Also, I never meant to overshadow you. Would you feel better if I stepped away from singing for good? Maybe we can focus on your career now." "Mom, no. You're right. I let my condition dictate how I feel about everything. I'm really sorry for what I said, and I'd never want you to stop doing what you love. You're my favorite singer." A week later, we had a spring dance at the school, and I was over the moon when Chris asked me to be his date. But when I got to the dance, I was shocked to see Mandy on his arm. What's going on? You two are friends again? Who said we ever stopped being friends? And did you really think Chris would start liking you after the party? You are so easy to fool, girl. You think everyone's just gonna fall for you because you're some princess? I wanted to show you your place. Just a nobody with a famous mom. Chris, you're so weak and pathetic. And Mandy, you must be really insecure to be jealous of a nobody. And I have a great chance of being a somebody one day because I'm talented and have a super famous mom. And you'll always be a loser looking to sell celebrities' used things. You know what? I'll do you a favor and send you Mom's used toilet paper. Mandy was about to attack me, but my classmates jumped in to stop her, and I just walked away. I told Mom I didn't want to stay another minute in this town. And by the next morning, she had everything packed and we left. Mom and I grew close again, and she featured a duet with me on her next album, which was #1 on the music charts for weeks. And I decided that I wanted to use my fame for something good. So I openly talked about my alopecia on Insta. I got such an outpouring of love and messages from people going through the same thing. And it felt amazing that I could make others feel less alone. Years went by and life was good until I joined college, because on the very first day, someone playing with a football bumped into me in the hallway, and I looked up to see it was Chris. "Brittany, I'm so glad to see you. I've thought of you every day."
"Really? Because I never thought of you after I left. I was too busy living my best life. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd kept my cool, but inside, I felt shock and anger bubbling up. Why did he have to be here? He just wouldn't back off. He'd leave flowers and apology notes in my locker and bring coffee for me every morning. One time at a football game, he sat across from me on the bleachers holding a large banner. "I'm sorry, Brittany. Give me one more chance." What's up with you and Chris, girl? What can't you forgive him for? I mean, look at him. Trust me, he's an A-class jerk. I told Mom about how Chris was ruining my life, but surprisingly, she told me to hear him out. Why should I? You know what he did.
I know, sweetheart, but people can change. He sounds like he's really sorry, and kids in school can be so stupid sometimes. Speaking of stupid, is it that boy in her tree? Brittany, I'm not getting out of this tree till you talk to me. I swear, I will sleep here and eat the leaves and never leave till you hear me out.
Seriously? Why are you acting like such a maniac? Why are you even here, Chris?
Because I've hated myself every single day since you left. I was weak and pathetic, but I never faked liking you. Mandy hated that you and I had grown close, so she made me play along with her act at the dance to hurt you.
Made you? No one can make you do anything.
Except that she could. My mom had taken loans from their family, and Mandy threatened to make life really difficult for her if I didn't play along. I know it doesn't sound good enough, but I felt like I had no choice. After you left, I dropped out of that fancy school. I couldn't stand to be around Mandy. And I followed you online, and I knew you were going to this college, and I had to see you and give you this.
It was one of the journals where I used to scribble away my songs. I had no idea where I'd lost it.
You left it in your locker, and I held on to it. I was hoping to return it one day and just tell you that I'm really sorry. I seem to say that a lot, but believe me, I've meant it every time.
I think I believe you, Chris, but you'll have to keep convincing me.
I will, promise.
Once I'm sure that you're not an awful person, I might set you up with a friend who thinks you're really cute.
And I hope by friend, you actually mean you.
In your dreams, jerk.